Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 5 of the Purple and Gold Hoops podcast with Adam and Kevin.
What's up?
And we're going to dive into the Lakers, as we always do, tonight, starting with the win against the Denver Nuggets. It was in Denver, and the Dallas Mavericks beat the Lakers just before that.
Yeah, that was a terrible loss. Terrible.
So
loss.
the Lakers went into Denver, who at the time was number 2 in the West. It's on the road in Denver, altitude, always a hard place to play, and the Lakers came away with the win by just a couple points. I believe it was 109, 104 or something to that extent.
105, 96.
105,
So
96.
It was a pretty good win.
So 9-point win, yeah. It got close for a second. It was close throughout a lot of the game. It was close coming down the stretch, but the Lakers were able to pull it out. And to me, my initial thoughts to it was that I was impressed with the way they did that because I know how hard it is for them to play in Denver, for anybody to play in Denver. I expected a bounce back coming off a loss at home, so I wasn't too shocked that the Lakers won. But the way they did it with LeBron and AD both having 25 in 37 minutes, and both of them shot 9 for 18.
Put it this way. They both had 25. They both shot 9 for 18.
They both played 37
minutes. That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. I believe that's like the second or third time this year that they've had basically identical stats. AD had 10 rebounds, LeBron had 9 assists. So, I mean, everything is basically identical. AD 1 for 3 from 3, LeBron 1 for 4, so the 3-point shooting for LeBron dropped a little bit from where it's been at recently the past 2 or 3 weeks. But they look like they are gelling, they know what they're doing, and they went into a tough environment and got a win.
I know, and they went into a tough environment where AD had flu-like symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
He had his
had to get an IV at halftime, and
he had his quote-unquote Michael Jordan game.
Yeah.
So the only person that did look like they had the flu was...
Well, I heard that 6 or 7 of the players on the team had the flu.
Well, I mean, I believe it. I called out of work on Monday because I was feeling terrible.
Right.
I mean, the weather in Southern California went from like 70 to 40 overnight.
Yeah. It really did something, but I was very impressed. You had Dwight Howard off the bench with 13. You had Rondo with 11, 6, and 6. They played really well, and at the same time, I'm not going to go as far as say they shut Jokic down.
Oh,
but
he seemed like he had the flu.
But my thing, the reason I'll read you a stat line right now and explain myself. So he had 13 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds, on 4 of 12 shooting from the field, 0 for 2 from 3-point line, in 34 minutes. Now the reason that's not a good stat line, but the reason I say I don't know if they really shut him down is just because he hasn't looked good at all this year. Jokic is having a really down year from where he was at last year and where people thought he was going to be at this year. He has not been looking good. There was reports that he came into camp a little overweight.
He does look overweight, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He looks overweight.
This being our first look at Denver, I'm not ready to say, like, oh, the Lakers just shut him down. Because I don't know if they shut him down or if it's just something he's doing, you know?
Yeah, but think about it this way. He shot 4 of 12, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he had 4 field goals. He had 5 turnovers. He has more turnovers than he has shots.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's
but he was still somehow
say.
a plus. Oh, he was a -6. Yeah. I was looking at the points. And the points and the plus minus was right next to each other, so I was about to say he was a +13. I'm like, no. Never mind.
I mean, that tells me everything.
3 steals, that's impressive. -6 in the rest of the stat line. I just don't know what's going on with him, so I can't say that they really shut him down. And I kind of wish he was playing well, so we see that type of game, and then we know, okay, the Lakers did their job.
But if you look, I mean, even if you just look at the highlights, you see Anthony Davis you see LeBron James, they're just running by him, and he's like trying to. He looks like he's trying to catch up, like he's trying to catch wind, and I'm like,
and I don't understand because he played in the FIBA World Cup, not the FIBA. What is the World Cup that they have? Not the Olympics, the one that they have every other year.
World Championship.
Yeah, whatever. He played internationally this summer
Mm-hmm.
for Serbia or wherever he's from. So I don't understand how he's coming into camp and the season out of shape, or I don't know what the issue is with him, but he did not play well. And back to the Lakers side of things, basically everybody on the Lakers played well. LeBron, AD, we just talked about them. Howard had 13. Rondo had 11, 6, and 6.
Dwight Howard made a 3.
Was that in Denver or was that against Utah? I thought it was against Utah.
Was it in Denver?
I thought it was against Utah. Spoiler alert, so Dwight Howard made a 3 at some point this year.
I know. I mean...
Yeah, he was 0 for 1 against Denver. I think it was Utah.
It was Utah? Okay.
Yeah, he made
I was still surprised. I was like... I had to bring it up. I mean, Dwight Howard knocked down the 3. I was like, what?
Yeah. I texted you when that happened.
Yeah.
Like,
a few years ago, he said, "Yeah, I'm starting to shoot threes. I'm gonna start knocking them down." I was like, "Look, slow your roll down, bro. Slow your roll."
Yeah. Technically, Dwight Howard on the season is 50% from 3-point line. He's our best 3-point shooter. Let's just start feeding Dwight Howard. I mean,
yeah, I think he shot another one tonight.
Oh, I must have missed that one.
Yeah,
I know I had to give my son a bath sometime during the game, so it must have been during there. If he made one.
No, he didn't make it.
He didn't make it?
He missed it.
Okay. Kevin had to dig through his notes
Yeah.
real quick. That's why Kevin is here, because he takes notes and I don't. I just do the eyeball test. But the Denver game, everybody played well. That pushed the Lakers to 18-3. And it was a good game all around. I don't really have much else to say about it.
They
I was happy
well.
with the win. I was expecting them to be tested. So the fact that they won by 9 points, I actually thought it would have been closer. So I really don't have anything to say about it. Other than I'm glad they won, obviously, and it was a convincing win for me, especially because they haven't really played anybody noticeable yet up until this Denver game. That was the best team they've played all year.
Right, they're number 2 in the West.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what else can you ask for?
Right. So moving on, I think we covered that enough. Moving on to the Jazz. And if you guys feel like we're going over games and things too quickly and you want more information, you want more dialogue about it, let us know. But we're going to do this for now because we're trying to get the podcast under an hour. So moving on to the Jazz. They played the next night back-to-back in Utah. And that's the game that last week I predicted was a loss. I thought they were going to win at Denver, and I thought they were going to lose to Utah and Portland. They beat Utah handedly, 121-96.
And I will take this game with a grain of salt, only because I still think the Lakers will beat them, no matter what. But Mike Conley wasn't playing, and if Mike Conley's not playing, then you just got Donovan Mitchell out there with
Gobert, who's not offensively effective at all.
And
like, you want Gobert for the defense, but you don't want any part of. He's like Whiteside. He's one of those weird players that you love him for the defense, but you don't want him touching the ball. And most of the players in the NBA is you want them for the offense, but you know they're not going to play a lick of defense.
Exactly.
So he's kind of the reverse.
Yeah. I mean, and Gobert doesn't look like he wants any part of Anthony Davis at all.
You think so?
No. I've always felt like when he plays the upper echelon big men in the NBA, he gets smaller. He looks like he goes from 7 foot down to a 6 foot dude.
I didn't so much notice that. Maybe it's just because of my perception of Gobert. And I know that if he wants to shut down any given big man in the NBA, he can. I know he has the talent, he has the ability, he has all the tools to do so. So I haven't really noticed that. Maybe you were watching him closer than I am, or was. But looking at AD's stat line for the night, I mean, you're kind of right. 26 points on 9 for 11 from the field.
Yeah, what are you going to do about that? 9 from 11. That means everything I shot went in.
Yeah.
I was having a good night.
Yeah. I mean, you had 26 points or whatever. 26 points in 26 minutes. You only took 11 shots. Now, in comparison, LeBron took 21, and he still only made the same 9 that Anthony Davis did. So,
yeah.
I mean, I guess what you're saying holds some weight. To the eye test, I didn't recognize it, but that was an amazing game from the Lakers all around.
Yeah, and it's a back-to-back. The Lakers had just played that Tuesday, coming back on that Wednesday, and they beat the Jazz 121-96. I mean, that's
both tough environments.
Yeah.
Utah's just as tough as Denver, minus the altitude. They still had 5 players in double figures. AD, LeBron, KCP, Kuzma, and Rondo all had double figures. Rondo had 14, 9 rebounds, and 12 assists. He was 1 rebound short of a triple-double.
Yeah.
And, that's my guy, so let me point this out. A plus 25. You were harping on him for the minus 18. Can he get some love for the plus 25? Come on, man.
He played a lot better that night. And I'm glad that he probably took it upon himself to play better, knowing that he played terrible the previous few nights.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that.
I'll take 11, 6, and 6, though. I don't think that's terrible, but that I would expect that from Rondo.
Yeah.
It's not too high on the scoring. It's a little low on the assists, and the rebounding for a point guard, 6 rebounds is great. But he's always been a great rebounder.
I mean, if he can lead that bench, I don't know who can beat the Lakers.
I think that's what Vogel is trying to do. He's trying to make Rondo the leader of the bench and the floor general coming off the bench. Because as of recently, he's been having Rondo run the offense and do what Rondo wants to do a lot more. And it's been showing. Rondo played really well against Utah. He was playing really well against Portland before he had to come out or whatever, and we'll talk about that. But he was playing really well, and his 3-point shooting has been deadly.
I'm not going to go there.
2 for 3 against Utah. He made a bunch against Portland. I believe Rondo is over like 45-50% from 3 this year.
Yeah, I still don't want him shooting it. I love when he runs the offense.
He's 52.8% from 3 this year.
Wow. Yeah. So I'm still not going to depend on Rondo to shoot the threes. But if he's making them, I'll take it. But I think the takeaway is he played well with Kuzma because the past, I think last week, he missed Kuzma on a few easy layups. And this time, Kuzma was like, 3 for 5 from 3? So he was looking for him.
Against Utah, yeah.
Yeah.
3 for 5 from 3, but 4 for 11 overall.
Yeah. But I mean, the entire bench played well.
And only 2 for 7 from free throw line.
It really seems like we really made our stamp on this game with our bench.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the energy, too. We were talking about it before we started recording, the Utah Jazz announcers, how they were just salty because LeBron gave his shoes away to some little kids, and Kuz came away. So Kuz had, in that game, he had, this is actually my first time looking at this, 3 blocks. He had, on the play that we're talking about, we'll get to that, but for Kuz, he had 3 blocks for the game, 4 steals. He forced 7 turnovers, essentially.
Yeah.
But on the play we're talking about...
and Kuz is not a defensive guy.
No, that's why I'm so shocked right now, and I'm kind of shook, and I don't know where... I completely lost my mind of thought. But LeBron got pulled out of the fourth quarter fairly early. At some point during the fourth quarter, after he got pulled out for the night, he took his shoes off, signed them, and gave them to 2 young fans, 2 little kids. Gave them each 1 shoe. And a couple minutes later, Kuzma got not 1, but 2 blocks on the same possession. So he got a block. Dude got the rebound back from the block, tried to go right back up, and Kuzma just stuffed him again. And that sent the ball going the other way on a fast break. LeBron was amped. He jumped off the bench. He was on the court. He was dancing, sliding around. It was weird. But there's Utah announcers that didn't like it. look at him. He's dancing on the court in his socks. This is disrespectful and this, that, and at the end of when they're done ranting, well, he gave his shoes away to a young fan. But you're still upset.
They're just salty. It's okay.
I mean, I get the Laker hate. I know I would hate us too if I was a Laker fan, but really, like, you're going to I'm not a LeBron fan at all. But you're criticizing this man for signing some shoes and giving, like, he made those two little kids, that's going to be a memory they carry for the rest of their life. Like, they'll be 45, 50 years old still talking about, well, I remember when LeBron signed his shoes, and, that's something that they're going to have for the rest of their life. Yeah.
I think they're just salty. I mean, Utah was losing the game.
But if you don't like it, don't let them do it.
True. I mean, and I'm going to be honest with you, when I first saw the block, I think I was looking over at my son as the game was going on, and I saw the block. I looked back. I automatically just assumed it was Anthony Davis. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, that was Anthony Davis. No, and I was like, cool. Oh, whoa.
It was cool.
Yeah.
You got the light skin, so you saw the light skin. You were just like, oh, Anthony, what? No. You saw the light skin playing defense.
I mean, he was light skinned. Look, I'm going to be honest. He was light skinned and he was blocking shots. And who else on this team is light skinned and blocking shots?
JaVale.
All right, I'll give you that.
But we could tell JaVale. Like, Kuz and AD kind of have a similar hairstyle, like. But yeah, so that's what happened. Kuz got a block, got a second block on the same possession. LeBron was amped, and Utah Knicks just didn't like it. But everybody blew him out. The one shocking stat from the game that I saw was that AD was only a +3, so he was still positive, but only a +3. You would have expected him to be probably about +7, 8, 9, 10, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Only +3.
The difference in the game was the bench. If you look at all the Utah Jazz players, especially their bench, all negatives. All negatives. I think Dante Exum's -14. Emmanuel Mudiay -16.
No, Dante Exum for this game, he was only a -4. Well, I'm looking at -4.
You know when Dante Exum first came out, they said he might be the closest thing to the Australian Michael Jordan.
I don't remember that. I remember the hype about Dante Exum and how touted he was.
Yeah.
But I didn't ever hear that. I remember hearing Andrew Wiggins was a Canadian Michael Jordan. So they called him Maple Jordan. Yeah, not Air Jordan, Maple Jordan. Yeah, so I remember that. I didn't remember hearing the Dante Exum one, but that's funny because he's been such a bust. He went high in the draft too. He was like
he was
the
top
fourth
10
pick or something.
Yeah, he was top 10.
Top 10. He was top 5. I know that. I believe he was top 5. He might have been 7 or something, but I think he went 4. Because that was the same year Julius Randle came out, I believe. Mm-hmm. He was the 5th pick.
Oof. Yeah, he's coming off the bench. So, they're just waiting for that contract to run out.
Yeah. And he's bounced around already, too, because he didn't... Oh, no, he did.
But he started with the Utah.
Yeah. Moutier is the one that didn't start.
Moutier is the one, yeah. They said that. What year did Moutier come out?
Same year as D'Lo. 16, I want to say it was.
I think a lot of people said that, oh, yeah, Moutier is better than D'Lo.
Yeah, because I remember on when I was listening, it was 2015, he was the 7th pick by Denver. But I remember that draft, and I wanted D'Lo. As I've talked to you about, I'm a D'Lo fan. So I was pulling for D'Lo, and the 3 names that were considered, because everybody knew Cat was going 1, and the Lakers were sitting at 2. The 3 names that people were looking at for the Lakers, or the 4 names I should say, is D'Lo, Porzingis, Okafor, and Moutier. Mm-hmm. And people were talking about, well, if you want a guard, go Moutier. And I remember hearing this on LA radio, Moutier.
I didn't like Moutier because he couldn't shoot. I mean, how can you be in this era of the NBA and you can't shoot? And I know some guys learn how to shoot over time, but I'm just not a big believer in that. I'm sorry. There's not a lot of guys who just learn how to shoot in the NBA.
Yeah. I mean, but at the same time, there is guys who can, who do. It's all a matter
of scorers rather than shot makers.
It's all about having the work ethic and putting in the time.
Yeah, but how?
Because if you really want to learn to shoot, you could learn to shoot.
True, but how often does it actually happen?
Not very often, but how motivated are these guys really? I mean, that's why drafting isn't all about talent, potential, athletic.
Mm-hmm.
You got to figure out what a person's mindset and work set is, like what their work ethic is, and like it goes to talent and potential. Yeah, that's what you look for at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But there's plenty of people out there. I shouldn't say plenty, like everybody can do it because not everybody can do it. But you get what I'm saying. Like of the prospect, that's where it really comes into figuring out who you're drafting.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really don't have anything else to say about the Jazz game. They won by 25 points.
Yeah. So up to this point, I was right. Lakers were going to be 2-0 going in.
And let's go to Portland. And what did you call that? I remember what you called it. What did you call it? What was Portland?
Lakers consistently struggle to beat Portland in Portland.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when was the last time the Lakers...
What was your prediction?
I thought we would lose this game.
Okay. Kevin was no longer right, people. I had to bring him down a little bit. But you do have a point. You and I did text about this as well, and I believe I heard the stat was it's been... Since 2015, they won there. I believe it was 7 consecutive games there.
Yeah.
So it's been a while. I will give you that, and that was my reasoning for thinking about it too. And even when they were able to win there, they weren't ever really. There's a few places that are hard for the Lakers over the course of history, and that's Portland and Memphis are the 2 standouts.
Mm-hmm.
Boston is tricky.
Boston's tricky,
but normally I don't care. Even when the Lakers had Kobe. If they're going, Kobe and Shaq for that matter, if they're going to Portland or they're going to Memphis, those are games they very easily could lose. Even though most of the times those teams are so far undermatched.
And it doesn't even matter like who's dressing up for Portland. It just seems like we're going to lose.
Exactly.
Like, that's like a black sheep.
Yeah,
if we had to play
go
Portland
there
in the
and it's like, oh, we're going to Portland. That's a loss. Like, I don't feel too comfortable. But you and I were both very wrong. And I said last week, all I want to see is please put 150 up on somebody. They damn near gave it to me 136.
Yeah.
And we'll get to tonight because they damn near gave it to me again tonight. But they had 136. It was 136 to 113. They beat Portland by 23. So a second 20-point win. I'll read off the numbers real quick. For AD, he had 39 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 12 for 21 shooting, 2 for 6 from 3 in 32 minutes. LeBron had 31, 8 assists, 7 rebounds, 4 for 9 from 3, 11 for 23 from the field in 34 minutes. Kuz had 15, and on the Portland side of things, Dame had 29, 8 and 7. CJ and Melo both had 15.
I really, really thought that Dame was going to go off in this game. He kept on, and you know how I told you, I said, we have trouble as the Lakers with quicker guards on the dribble drive. Too many guys.
I mean, it's not like he played bad.
No, he didn't play bad, but
he didn't have a big game for his. That was about average what he does to everybody.
Yeah, because he kept getting by us, and then he would just kick it out to someone else. Right. Like he was like, I don't know. If
8 assists, 7 rebounds.
I was like, don't you?
What really killed him was 2 for 8 from 3. If he would have had his jump shot working that night, he'd have had 40.
Yeah, yeah, because he was getting by us. And I've seen him knock down the floater.
Yeah,
so I know he can do it. But he just kept on kicking it out to the outside for threes.
Well, their whole offense has changed since they picked up Carmelo. And it's great what Carmelo's been doing. He's averaging 16, 17, 18 points for them. They've since they signed him, they've since guaranteed his contract. So it's no longer a non-guaranteed contract. It's all good for Melo. But their offense has really changed to kind of make him the focal point since he signed.
I don't know why they're doing that. I think Melo should come off the bench. Melo needs to come off the bench.
I think he will when they get who's the big Nurkic. When Nurkic comes back, then you're going to see Melo go back to the bench. But for now, they have to because they just waived Powell, too.
True.
And Powell is talking about, okay, well then I've been here for a couple of years. I like it. He's just recently married, so he's just getting acquainted with his wife and establishing how their life is going to be together. So he's thinking about just retiring and getting hired as an assistant for Portland.
Wow.
That way he can still stay there, still have a job, still be around the organization, all those types of things. But he's not even really on the team anymore.
Yeah, and I saw some video on Instagram when he was going over how he was leaving the team.
Mm-hmm. Powell is
Powell.
Yeah, Powell is a great human being.
Yeah.
He's a great person, and that's just how Powell is. He's very genuine, he's very affectionate, and he's an all-around good person. And if you don't like Powell, then I don't know, you got some problems with you. Like you got some emotional individual problems. If you don't like, at least from what I know and what I've seen and all his charitable things, and whenever he goes to Memphis, the first thing he does when they land is go straight over to the children's hospital before he even checks into the hotel or anything like that. So, if you don't like Powell, you're a different type of person, and I don't know. But that's the whole thing with that. So they're kind of short on bigs as it is. So I think that's why Carmelo started right now. And he might even still start when Nurkic comes back because, off that broken leg, it was a horrific injury. Yeah, you got to work him in. He's not going to be right until probably All-Star break next year. Because if he doesn't come back until after the All-Star break this year, he'll have the last 25, 30 games this year to get right, 25 to 30 games next year before the break, 40, whatever it is, to get right. And then we'll see Nurkic back after the All-Star break 2022.
Yeah. But I don't know. I just felt like Dame wasn't into the game.
I think he was trying too hard. I don't want to say this because I know what Dame can do, but I think he felt too much pressure to carry everything going against LeBron AD. And like I said, it's not like he played bad. 29, 8, and 7.
He had
on 9 for 18. If his 3 would have fell, because that's the one thing, he was 2 for 8. So say he would have been 5 for 8.
Let's say he would have been 5 for 8. He would have had
at least 40 points. Yeah, somewhere around 40 points, and that puts them right back in the game. And it doesn't. It's probably a single-digit loss at that point. I just think he was doing too much, and for lack of a better way of putting it, I think the pressure got to him. Now, that's not saying I don't think Dame can thrive under pressure, because I know he can.
Oh, yeah.
He's shown it to us before, and I love his game, but I think he was trying to do too much.
Yeah. Is this also the game where KCP was actually really pushing the pass?
Yeah, kicking it out to the corner. So you and I talked about this as well. What KCP would do is he would dive either from the wing or from one of the corners, cut into the paint, beat his man just off pure speed, and when he got to the paint, LeBron found him for a pass, and KCP would do a little touch pass out to the corner. The first time, it worked seamlessly. The ball hit KCP's hands. He just tapped it out to Caruso in the corner. Caruso made the 3. The second time, Portland was kind of ready for it. It was the next possession, too. Portland was kind of ready for it. KCP caught it, realized that touch pass wasn't open, so he actually caught it, took a couple dribbles in the post, and just kicked it into the corner.
I think
and hit Danny Green for that.
Oh, Danny Green,
yeah.
I love that because we have been talking about other people getting involved in the offense, and it's for so long it's just been AD LeBron, and sometimes it's been LeBron to AD on a pick and roll. Yeah. But this really got everybody involved in the offense,
especially because the ball moves quicker than men, and on those touch passes, once they're already out of position trying to recover,
it's too late.
Yeah, that Caruso 3, he didn't have anybody probably within 7 feet of him. He was just white. He could have had to drink coffee, read the newspaper, everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, the one ran for Dan Green was the same concept, but Utah kind of adjusted just a little bit. But KCP just took 2 dribbles, and that's when the help came in. Boom, threw it back out.
It was beautiful.
Right to that, it was the same play minus 2 dribbles.
Yeah. And I feel like this Laker team is really starting to have a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And you were talking about it before. You're saying like, "Oh, I got no problems with it." And I'm sitting over here thinking, okay, this is way too good to be true because we're not even at All-Star break and we're just running through teams.
I don't have a problem with them running through teams because I do want to see the load management. What I do have a problem with is how they're in such close games. Because up until this road trip, a lot of these games have been close, and that's where my problem comes in. I'll take the wins. I'm not worried that they're winning. They're winning. That's great. I want to see a mark in the W column every night. My issue is that it's too close with teams that are subpar.
Well, I mean, we had playoff team after playoff team after playoff team.
This road trip, yes.
And I felt like we beat the playoff teams way better than we played way better against the playoff teams than we've been playing the other teams. And I told you, I feel like they've been bored. They're bored because we're not playing good teams. I mean, you're getting up for
you can't carry that mentality, man.
Yeah.
You can't.
I mean, look, I understand. I get it.
Because what if they drop some of these easy games because they're bored, right? And then when they do get up, they're not guaranteed a win. So if they do get up for, say, Milwaukee, what we got Milwaukee coming up, say they get up for Milwaukee and lose, but you've also been losing to these poor teams. It could be a totally different story.
Yeah. Well, Milwaukee's a whole nother beast. Well, Antetokounmpo is a whole nother beast. Everybody else on that team, I think we're pretty good.
I got something off the wall to say about that, but I'm gonna save that until next week.
If you saw what he did to the Clippers,
I'm gonna save it for next week. I'm gonna save it for next week. Everybody, if you want to hear my crazy, outrageous comment that I'm going to make, listen to episode 6 because when we played, I got some thoughts about that, and I'm probably gonna be in the minority.
I'm waiting to hear it.
Okay.
I'm waiting to hear it.
Kevin doesn't even know this is the first season.
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
but I'm probably gonna be in the minority. But
he had himself a happy birthday. Trust me.
Giannis has been balling out. He is the truth.
They you know, there's funny on Twitter. They had a photo when he made he was diving in for all these dunks against the Clippers. So they have a photo of Paul George looking at him with his mouth just wide open, like, oh my God.
Yo, what the are you doing?
Yes, and in the background, near the 3-point line, Kawhi Leonard's looking at him like he got his mouth open.
I wish I could do that.
It's like both the star players just watching this man handle y'all.
And they lost by 20 plus or something.
Ooh.
I know they were down by damn near 30 or 40.
Yes, they were down by almost 40 at third quarter.
So I don't know what they actually lost by, but I'd venture to say it was at least 20.
I'm sorry. In the 80s and 90s, if you were beating somebody up that bad, you'd have to do a Charles Barkley. You have
in the 80s or not. Kevin, can I talk to you?
You have to send a message, bro.
Can I talk to you real quick? I love 80s style basketball. I wish I was born in the 80s. I just missed it barely. I'm a 91, so I'm a 90s baby. I love the intensity and the physicalness of the game in the 80s. So I agree with everything you're saying. But bro, it's not. It's not. I'm sorry, but we gotta let it go. We gotta move. This is where we're at now.
We'd have to fight. You can't put up 40 on me. You can't be up 40 on me, and I'm just watching you dunk on me.
Kevin.
He was dunking all over. He was dunking on everybody. Not
I
everybody. Everybody.
The ERR. I wish it was like the 80s where they could just like give them that Kurt Rambis or that Bill Laimbeer.
Yes.
You know, like I know.
Yes, you ain't gonna be doing this to me.
Even if you want to do more modern, that early 2000 series with the Lakers and Kobe, or with the Lakers and Suns, where Raja just clothesline Kobe. I mean, that was 80s style ball. Yeah. Like, that was an 80s style play. And that was probably the last time we ever saw it. So I wish it would come back, but that's not where we're at. You know, these kids growing up nowadays are soft.
Yeah.
Everybody just wants to hug and have kumbaya and be best friends. And we played AAU and let's team up. And yeah. But we're old men, bruh. not necessarily old man, but we have the old man mentality. Yeah, where we're stuck in what we grew up with, you know. But it was, I don't even know where we were at.
We're talking about the Blazers. And, I mean, all three of those road games they seemed fairly easy.
That's the part. That part. They shouldn't have seemed easy. And the fact that they did seem easy, I'm going to let you guys know now. I know I've been hard on the Lakers, and while they've been winning, I've been nitpicking and all this, that, and the other. I told Kevin that once they came back from this road trip 3-0, I'm a believer now. I believe in what this team is going to do and can do, because now you're showing me against the upper echelon. And Portland's not a great team, but that's still a bad place for the Lakers to play. And you went in there and you blew them out. You went into Utah on the second night of a back-to-back. You blew them out. You went into Denver and you beat them by 9, but they're the second best team in the conference, according to record. I don't think they are. I think it's the Clippers. But according to their record, you went in there and you gave them the business.
I think that number 2 seed is going to be up and down, because neither the Blazers nor the Jazz or the Clippers seem like they're ready to hang on to that number 2 spot. And I take that away from when Milwaukee played the Clippers, you had Paul George and you had Kawhi Leonard, and they got blown out. So I'm not sure who's ready for that number 2 seed, but I know the Lakers are ready to beat everybody. I mean, and we were talking about it earlier. We said the offense is flowing. Whether we're in a half-court set, whether we're playing full court, whether we're playing a turnover game and just kicking up the court, the Lakers are scoring.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else to say. I have a hard time complaining about anything.
I mean, hell, they put up 136. And, oh, my God, I made this statement last week. I just want to see him put up 150 against somebody.
We were close tonight.
We were close against Portland. We got closer tonight, and we're going to talk about tonight.
And you know what? Yes, because I think the Lakers could have hit 150 tonight if someone was in foul trouble.
Yeah. So you ready to move on?
Yeah.
All right. Enough for Portland. I'll let you take away the Wolves. You go ahead and shine with your notes.
So, Lakers played the Wolves tonight. On the Wolves, you have Karl Anthony Towns, you have Andrew Wiggins.
Andrew Wiggins balled out tonight.
Andrew Wiggins played well. Yeah. Karl Anthony Towns. You know what? Okay. I wrote a note. I said, who sets the tone defensively for the Timberwolves?
Nobody. They don't have a defensive player.
And that's exactly my point.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they got in an argument few years back.
That's exactly why Jimmy Butler wanted it out.
Yes. Because
he called them soft. He called Wiggins and Towns soft and said they didn't have the mentality.
It blows my mind, because I think that Karl Anthony Towns is on the offensive end of the court. He can do almost anything. He was setting up people with back cuts. He was scoring. He can shoot the 3. I think he shoots the 3 too much. He
makes the third most threes per game in the NBA.
That's ridiculous. I mean,
makes the third most. Yeah.
Still, I mean,
he shoots about 7 a game. Tonight he shot 8. He was 1 for 7.
And if you've never seen Karl Anthony Towns, he's 6'11". He's got a back to the basket game. He can shoot from the outside. He can pass the ball. Mm-hmm. He was dribble driving on some of our big men and setting up 3-point shooters, which is kind of rare for a big man. You really expect that from a guard. But on the defensive end, when Anthony Davis was just dunking on everybody, he was just sitting there watching the show. And I was like, I actually expected LeBron James to have the big game tonight. Because I said, LeBron James is the mismatch.
I mean, LeBron had a monster game, too. His shoulder shot. Let me give you some insight. The score was 142 to 145. Lakers won. The reason why Kevin is saying that LeBron wasn't the one with the quote-unquote big game is because AD had 50 points. 5-0. 50. Okay? That's a monster game. If you take that away, LeBron had 32 and 13. Any other night, LeBron would have been the talk.
Yeah.
But not tonight, because AD put up 50 with 7 rebounds, and 6 assists.
Yeah, LeBron James got in early foul trouble.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like the Lakers were having too much.
4 steals, 1 block for AD as well.
And I put this in here just because I knew, it would bother you a little bit. But
God, what do you got?
LeBron James was, early in the game, LeBron James was throwing outlet passes to everybody.
Yeah.
I mean,
I hit you up and I said I love the way they were playing.
Yeah. It seemed like Kevin Love and Russell Westbrook back at UCLA. I mean, just outlet passes were going for dunks. And a lot of those outlet passes ended up in Anthony Davis' hand, which I felt like Karl-Anthony Towns had no answers. It just seemed like he was just chasing them. And I was like, bro, man up. Like, get there. I mean, I was hoping, I don't know. I'm hoping that someone will kind of challenge AD so then he'll play harder. But he's playing harder than everybody on the court no matter what. So
that's just his mindset.
Yeah.
But can I make a statement real quick off topic before I move on?
Sure.
Can we just agree no more UCLA talk? No more. Not man, while we do
you
this.
Had this. Look, Kevin Love to Russell Westbrook was one of the best outlet passes of college basketball.
Oh, Kevin Love is one of the best outlet passers of all time. Maybe not the greatest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna just reiterate to everybody again. I don't mess with UCLA. It's all Trojans over here. That's what I'm about. And I get enough of the UCLA Bruins stuff from my girl, being that she's an alum. So I don't need it from you. I appreciate it, but that's how you know the chemistry is right.
Did you watch the play with Anthony Davis when Caruso got stuck? Caruso gets stuck with Karl-Anthony Towns down low, and Anthony Davis up top with the guard. I forget which guard it was. But, Anthony Davis is up top.
I think it was Shabazz Napier.
Okay. And he tries to push the ball into Karl-Anthony Towns. Anthony Davis knocks the ball, saving the day, because that's an easy dunk.
Yeah.
And he was just doing everything. I was like, oh, my God, this man is on a mission. Like, he does not have negative plays.
Yeah, I think it was Shabazz Napier, what you're talking about. But we saw a little bit of that in the Utah game as well. The hustle and the desire and the mentality to not give up from Anthony Davis, because he did the same thing against Bogdanovich. Bogdanovich in the Utah game caught the ball in the corner, ready to take a three, gave AD the little pump fake, sidestep. AD flew by. AD still got the block. So, I mean, after I saw that,
you're like, I'm done.
I mean, AD jumped. Bogdanovich did the sidestep, AD landed, and as soon as his feet hit the ground, he was right back up off the floor and came from behind to block a three from out of bounds. And after that, I'm just like, there's basically nothing this guy can't do, and he's only 26.
Wow.
The prime for an NBA player is 28 to 32. So he hasn't even got into his prime yet.
That's true. And shout out to Dwight Howard today. Tonight was his birthday.
Mm-hmm. I was hearing on the radio that it was last night, and then when I was watching the game today, they kept saying today. I'm like, I don't know what it is, but I didn't care to look it up. But on the radio, they were giving him credit for it last night.
That's true.
Whatever.
And LeBron James had a monster dunk. Mm-hmm. Did you see the dunk he had on Jane?
Yeah. He literally, he went up with, I think it was his right hand. He went up and he was kind of drifting away from the rim. So he was like drifting left. And he still, and Dang was just kind of looking at him like, why me? why you got to do that to me?
Yeah. The crazy part is that when it just felt like a vintage LeBron James dunk. And the entire bench was going crazy.
Don't you call him old man LeBron?
Yeah, this was not an old man LeBron dunk.
Okay.
This was young man LeBron.
Kevin finally giving somebody some credit for something.
His head was near the rim again.
Okay.
I don't know if he ate his Wheaties this morning, but he got up today.
He was also shooting that three well too, 6 for 8.
You know what? I wrote in my notes. I was like, every time I see LeBron James not take a deep three, it goes in. And the very next shot, he missed it, so I crossed it out.
6 for 8, bro.
It's like
I tried to tell you a week or two ago that LeBron is actually starting to wet that 6 for 8.
Yeah.
He had a couple off games, I'll give you that. If you'd have told me when LeBron was a rookie, one day he's going to be shooting 6 or 8 from the three.
Oh, no. Never.
I wouldn't have believed it, but I would have thought if he does that, oh my God. So,
yeah. The Lakers did kind of struggle throughout the middle of the game because they had guards like Covington. He was knocking down threes left and right. It's kind of annoying.
He's not really that type of player. Like, he has these games where it's once every blue moon. Tonight he had 16 points on 3 for 4 from 3 and 4 for 8 from the field, but he was minus 15.
Yeah.
He did have 3 steals.
Covington?
Yeah.
Not bad.
Not bad. That's nice, bro.
Yeah.
3 steals.
For Covington.
For anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get 1 or 2, okay, not bad. 3? Now, you
were in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because think about all the ones he missed. And he had a block, apparently.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah.
It's been one of those little pity patter blocks.
Yeah, the score sheet was like, we got to give it to somebody who... No, give it to Covington. Yeah, somebody had to get it. But he did shoot 5 for 5 from the free throw line, so that was nice for him in 28 minutes.
Yeah. I feel like the most interesting part of the game, because for the game was kind of seemed like a blowout, but the most interesting part of the game was when LeBron James got in foul trouble. So he gets in foul trouble, and Anthony
3
Davis
in the first half.
Yeah.
Came back late in the first half, got a fourth,
which I was actually okay with because I've seen Kobe do it before. I've seen Kobe get four fouls.
Yeah, but the way he got it, trying to draw a charge, that
was a bonus call. I didn't agree with that call.
I agreed with it because his heels were up. So you have to be firmly planted and still. If he didn't pick his heels up to try to raise that last little inch or whatever to throw off the shot, yeah, I would have gave him the charge. But because he started to get on his tippy toes and raise his heels, you're not firmly planted at that point. You can't make a case that, I'm firmly planted. Well, your feet are moving, so you're not.
I've seen a lot of players get away with charges even when they're moving their feet. So I don't always buy it. I just don't agree with that call because I feel like he wasn't really moving.
Mm-hmm. He wasn't sliding side to side.
Exactly.
But did you see how he kind of onto his tippy toes so his heels
all players are kind of like bracing themselves for that contact.
I get it, but if you want to go by the letter of the law,
yeah, if we're going to do it by the letter of the law, no one's watching the NBA.
Oh God, no! It would be a whistle every inbound play.
Exactly. Holding, pushing, shoving.
Free throw contest.
But he gets three quick fouls, and Anthony Davis is on the floor, and I'm watching him at this point because I'm worried that he's going to go back into what he used to be when he was in New Orleans. Because sometimes when New Orleans was down,
a ball stopper,
he would do nothing. He would just be a part of the team. He wouldn't take over.
Oh, okay. So you're saying something different.
Yeah. I'm like, all right, so when's he going to demand the ball? And the very next play, he demands the ball, scores, and kills the little run that they have. I'm just so impressed with AD.
Now, I got 2 different things to throw at you real quick. From the Minnesota side of things tonight, does this surprise you? Not a single player scored 20 for them. Look it up, but not a single player scored 20.
Yeah, they 19, 18, 16.
Yeah. There was a few that were right around there, but nobody had 20. Does this surprise you? 8 players in double figures. 8. That's a lot. That 8 players in double figures. You had Covington was 16, Wiggins 19, Towns 19, Okogie 18, Culver 12, Diop 11, Teague 12, and Napier 13.
It makes sense.
That's 8 players.
I mean, it makes sense because, the coach is Ryan Saunders, Flip Saunders' son.
Right.
So, he has that, let's move the ball around. Let's get everybody involved.
But based on talent, there should not be 8 players with double digits.
No. They kept on killing. The one area, if we did have an issue, was the dribble drive.
Mm-hmm.
As always,
That's why Shabazz Napier had 13. Teague had 12 off the bench, and he's hurt.
Yeah.
He's normally a starter. The only reason he came off the bench is because he's still not even 80%.
Yeah, they were killing us in the dribble drive. That's the only comment I have. And fouling 3-point shooters.
I mean, I'm glad with the win. I'm a believer now because of what the Lakers did on that 3-game road trip. But I don't like that 8 players in double figures. I don't think that's something that's going to happen very often, if ever again this season. But that's the one thing from this game that I'm taking away. I'm like, that don't really sit right with me. But again, for the second night in a row, why couldn't the Lakers get me by 150? I really thought they were 8 points away tonight. They were 16 points away against Portland. Ooh. Y'all
AD
gave me 150 one time.
I think AD was 9 points away from his all-time high.
Yeah, his career high.
And I really thought he was going to get it.
I was kind of hoping he would, but I knew that it would require Vogel leaving him on the floor, so I was kind of looking at it with 5 minutes left.
Is it really worth it?
We're up 20. We still got LeBron and AD out. So I was kind of looking at Vogel. I could understand why Vogel left AD because of his age and the milestone there. But I'm like, yo, why is LeBron still on the court? That's the one thing I can't take with Vogel. A lot of people last year with Luke, I hate his rotations. What is he doing? I understand Frank Vogel's rotations this year to the point that when I see somebody get up off the bench and go to the scorer's table, I know who they're based on who the player coming off the bench is, who they're going to take out.
Yeah.
So I understand his rotations.
His rotations are all about
defense. I don't understand why he's keeping LeBron and AD on the floor with 20 points, a 20-point lead with 4 minutes left, and then I'm like, okay, I get that Cat is still out there for the other team.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like, come on. If we don't win by 20 and we win by 10, but LeBron and AD don't have to play the last 5, we need to find these minutes here and there. They add up. That's all I'm saying.
LeBron literally got his load management tonight because he was in foul trouble.
Yeah, until Vogel put him back in for the last few minutes of the fourth. When I saw that,
AD played 39 minutes. Bro, LeBron played 28.
When I saw that LeBron had picked up his third foul with 9 minutes left in the third quarter, he had played about 9 minutes at that point. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, cool. Leave him on the bench for the rest of the half. If he comes out and plays the whole second half, he's only at 33 minutes.
But that's when the.
But then he went and he put him.
That's when they went on their run. 18-4 run.
They got a little lead or whatever. But it's still the first half. So if I was Vogel, I still would have kept Braun on the bench. But he put him back in with 4 minutes left in the second quarter, and I'm like, okay, it's only 4 minutes, but. Why? Even if LeBron would have played the whole second half.
But when he came back, he had immediate impact.
Yeah,
because
he turned it around. It was probably more so the momentum thing.
Yeah, the very next play, they ran a pick and roll. Mm-hmm. LeBron James to Anthony Davis.
Went right back to normal, snap back, pop.
The crowd got back into it.
Yeah, but if you can get LeBron 9 minutes and a half, you will be stupid. I don't care if it's foul trouble. You'll be stupid to ruin that. And what did Vogel do? Wouldn't ruin that. I mean, but LeBron, 6 for 8 from 3. I keep trying to tell Kevin, his 3 is getting nasty. Did you see the snatchback he had on somebody tonight? I forgot who it was. He had a snatchback 3. He looked like hard. He was dribbling at the wing, did a little fake, took a dribble, and literally snatched it back behind his back, threw the ball into his left hand, took a dribble, and bah! Net. I'm just like, LeBron, if you start doing that, I mean, at this point, you better because your athleticism is strong. But if you would have been doing that at 26...
Oh, yeah. He might have won a few more rings.
If you'd have had that type of move when you were with Miami, granted, he was shooting the 3 pretty well in Miami, but it was mainly spot-ups.
It was a lot of
take
dunking.
A couple dribbles and rhythm and just pull up and that type. He did a snatch back, bro. He pulled this man's heart out of his chest and with the threes. Like, I was impressed by 6 for 8.
He's been lulling a lot of big men out there to the perimeter, and once they're out there, he uses the same move every night, and you know it's coming. You're like, bro, if you watch tape, you know it's coming. I know it's coming. You out there all alone?
Yeah. And there was one possession where they got an offensive rebound, or they got a steal off an inbounds pass or something, and I believe it was Caruso got the ball and just immediately kicked it right back out to LeBron on the wing. He took a 3 from beyond the hash. There was like 22 seconds left on the shot clock, bro. The shot clock had just reset back to 24. He was beyond the hash and was just like, oh, you knocked it down. He's been wetting that 3, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, he has. I mean, I'll give him that. They've been going in a lot.
You looked at me crazy last week. Can you?
I mean,
know that?
Look, I just can't forget who he was.
Neither can I, but he's been wetting it lately.
Yeah. But did you see THT tonight?
In his little 2 minutes? Yeah, I saw the one shot he took. It looked good. The form looked good. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then he bricked it. I'm like, why are you on this team?
We're talking
you
about
could be
Taylor.
Jamal Crawford.
Look, we're talking about Taylor Horton Tucker, and the rookie of the Lakers. And he had a crossover, and it was a nice crossover. And
it was nice, yeah, from about the top of the key.
I'm actually surprised it was so nice because, you know, he has long arms, and most guys with long arms don't have good crossovers.
Yeah, when I saw him come in, I was fine with it. I'm like, okay, I finally get to see what you can.
Yeah.
He pulled that little move, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then he missed it, and I'm just like...
Yeah, it was a crossover to
I mean,
a step
it was
back.
very impressive. Yes, It was very impressive. I was glad about it. Glad to see it. But then I'm like, but you can't convert it. I could have Jamal Crawford do the exact same thing, but make it.
He also had another opportunity when he was at the on the edge of the 3-point line, and he's got a little wiggle. So I was like, oh, you know, maybe we could use that.
He was not a minus, not a plus. He was a 0.
Yeah.
For his 2 minutes, he shot 0 for 1.
Now, did you see? Tell me you saw what Dwight Howard did at the end of the game, because at this point the Lakers are up by like 20.
Tell me,
so Dwight Howard is dribbling the ball, and you know the clock is about to run out. He tries to hand the ball over to THT.
And THT was like, nah, bro.
Like, I don't want this turnover.
Well, what people don't understand, that shot clock violation is not an individual turnover, it's a team turnover. So it really don't matter who got the ball.
He didn't want it though. He was like, nah, bro.
Hart did the same thing earlier. Josh Hart from New Orleans did the same thing to Jackson Hayes earlier this year where he was like, nope, here, hot potato, take this. Jackson Hayes got the ball, was like, what are you doing? Like, what you want? But it's a team turnover. It don't go towards your personal. But it's a nice way to kind of just mess with a rookie.
Yeah. It was nice to see him, though. At least, like, who is he? What is he? Because the only
thing
I've ever seen
his own and be like, nah, you ain't about to just... Yeah, all I've ever seen from him was on the bench and
highlights.
Yeah. But none of them were NBA highlights, so...
Oh, the G League highlights? Yeah.
I hadn't watched those. His name isn't big enough for me to follow, so... Sorry. All right, you got anything else about the Wolves and Lakers?
No.
All right.
No. Just the disappointment of Karl Anthony Towns. I don't know what's happened with him, but I wish he would play a lot harder than he does. He's got so much talent.
That's the issue Butler had with him. He's not the alpha, bro. I don't even know if he's a beta.
I don't think...
I think he might have to be... He has the talent to be a top 2 option on a championship team.
Exactly.
He doesn't have the mindset.
No.
So I think he's more fit for a 3rd or 4th or a complimentary role, even though he has the talent to be the guy.
Yeah, and that hurts because you can't have your top 1 or 2 scorer.
But you can't change him mentally.
No.
You can't.
The worst part is that Wiggins doesn't have that mentality.
That's why Butler wanted out. That's why he went into practice and literally was like, yo, I'm going to take a squad of G Leaguers, and I'm going to cuss them out on the floor. And then I'm going to look at the GM and be like, you effing need me.
Yeah. Oh, they
Do you remember that last
They
year?
effing need him right now.
Yeah, did you remember that last year? Like that, it's a Game of Zones about it. Like for those of you that don't watch Game of Zones, it's an animated short. Each one's about 5 or 6 minutes, NBA related. It's amazing. Check it out. But yeah, like neither one of them have the mental makeup to be the guy, and I think that's the reason why they can't even make the playoffs. Because Wiggins and Towns have never made the playoffs. I don't believe.
No, they were going to make the playoffs.
They should have with Butler.
Yeah, with Butler. But he got injured.
Yeah,
he got injured, and they just fell off the map.
Yeah. So that's enough about the Wolves. That was this week's schedule. The Lakers have been 4-0 since last time Kevin and I talked to you. So there's no more games for us to talk about. Now we're going to transition to the I guess we'll call this the injury segment of the show because we always talk about injuries for the team. You want to go with who's coming back first or who just went out?
Avery Bradley coming back. Okay. And he'll be back soon. And I think they just cleared him for full contact.
Word is that if everything keeps going as normal because the Lakers don't play until Wednesday, that he should be back for the Orlando game.
And that's really, well, I don't expect him to be fully back.
It's going to take him a couple games to get back into shape, or not, but he'll be playing in Orlando.
Yeah. We need someone to stop the dribble drive because if there's anything that's hurting the Lakers right now, it's a dribble drive. Now we've been getting away with it because tonight we completely out-rebounded this team. We've been better in the turnovers, better on offense, better in assists. I mean, the Lakers are doing anything and everything they want. But the dribble drive is killing us. So it'd be nice to get Avery Bradley back. And Rajon Rondo should be back in a little bit.
Oh, I don't get...
okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't really have nothing else to say. You did say it all. Not kind of. You did say it all. I'm infatuated with Bradley brings to our defense, and it'll be nice to finally see him back. Hopefully, you and I talked about it a little bit. Hopefully, we'll see more of a Bradley and Caruso backcourt. Because we both like how Caruso's defense has been. We both recognize and know Avery Bradley is the best perimeter defender on the team. So that's going to be nice. We both recognize the hit that the Lakers have taken since Bradley's been out. So I'm excited to get him back.
Yeah.
I really don't have anything else much to say about it other than I hope we can see Caruso and Bradley in the backcourt together at some point with, say, LeBron, AD, and Dwight Howard.
Yeah. If there's ever a team that can, really outscore us, which I haven't seen it yet. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe a team like... No, that wouldn't even work. I was going to say Dallas, but Dallas has more forwards than guards.
I mean, Bradley will help a lot on Doncic.
He could.
And even if Bradley's there, you throw Bradley one possession, you throw Caruso the next, you throw KCP, you throw Rondo. Throw him different looks so he doesn't really get a chance to analyze anything too deeply. Mm-hmm. It's another body, so it makes sense, and I think it'll help against Dallas as well. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready for Avery Bradley to come back. He's been out since November 12th or 13th. I think I saw tonight he's missed the last 12 games or something like that. It doesn't feel like it because they've been running off wins, but it's a welcome sighting.
It is. Because I'm tired of people running by our guards. Look, I'm sick and tired of someone, a guard, running by our guard, and I'm like, all right, here we go. Now they're going to kick it to the 3-point line, swing it.
You know why I'm not so tired about it? Because I know they run right into AD. And okay, they about to kick it out, but now we got LeBron or hopefully Danny Green or something. I mean...
And we close out shooters pretty doggone good.
And we fixed it a lot recently.
Yes.
It was a lot more noticeable at first when Bradley went out, but as of late, we've Vogel, and this is where I'm giving him his credit, him and his coaching staff, they've fixed it a lot lately. So it was very noticeable at first. It hasn't been so noticeable.
No, it hasn't.
Recently.
I just don't want to go up to a 3-point shooting team like Denver
Right.
and have them shoot the lights out of us because we can't stop the dribble drive.
Right. Well, I think your better example would be Dallas because we were able to figure out Denver.
I don't see.
We didn't figure out Dallas, and you made the stat that 17 threes is 51 points. So
yeah, that was nuts. That was nuts.
I mean, but I don't buy into that as much as you because, okay, it's 51 points. That's a lot of points. Don't get me wrong. But if you're getting all your points exclusively from three,
you can't win a series like that. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Which is why Phoenix in the early 2000s always failed. Which is why Harden can't get over the hump in Houston.
Have you? Okay,
I was very surprised that Golden State was able to do it, but that's because they had 2 or 3 of the best all-time shooters in Steph, Clay, and Durant. Because Durant is a sniper.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care what nobody say.
Best scorer in the NBA. Best scorer in the NBA.
Before pre-Achilles, I won't go there. Post-Achilles.
Okay. Pre-Achilles, he's the best scorer in the NBA. Some people would like to say Harden, but it's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same.
I'm going Harden post-Achilles, but pre-Achilles, I'm still taking Durant.
I'll take AD.
Post-Achilles for KD? It's so weird how we're referring to it like post-Achilles, like it's BC and AD, and
I'm sure he's gonna come back just fine.
Is Jesus Christ or something.
I'm sure Kevin Durant is gonna come back just fine.
I'm worried about him. I'm worried because, like we said about Wiggins and Towns, it's his mindset, bro. And it's not that he can't be an alpha on the court because he's shown that he can be alpha on the court. If you consider him the leader of the Golden State teams, he's shown that. I'm more worried with his mindset off the court because we know he has burner accounts. We know he engages in pointless Twitter arguments with random eggs, and when it's the whole off the court thing. And I don't think that Brooklyn thing is going to work. I don't think him and Kyrie are going to mesh. I know they're boys. They love each other. They're best friends, whatever. I don't think it's going to work. It's not going to work substantially anyway. So, yeah, they're going to make the playoffs. They might get to the second round. They might get to the Eastern Conference Finals. They're not going to sniff a championship.
All right.
You would think
I want to wait and see.
You would think that the talent makes sense. You would think it would work. Yeah. But the mental makeup of the two, because Kyrie is a lot like AD. Yeah. And they're that type of thing. Like you're just kind of off a little bit. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that or it's a bad thing, but I don't think you mentally or emotionally have what it takes to lead a team to a championship.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think KD has that, so I don't think they're going to win one. Based on pure talent, they should.
Oh, based on pure talent, they should.
If you take into account the mental part of it and all, I don't think they're going to be able to do so.
Yeah.
So, moving back from Avery, Rondo recently in, I believe it was the Blazers game, came up limp and hurt his hamstring and actually took himself out. It wasn't a noticeable thing on the court or anything. It was just something he asked for a sub. He came out. He told the coaching staff what was wrong. He talked to the trainer. He had some tightness in his hamstring. And for precautionary reasons, they kept him out of the rest of the Blazers game, and they kept him out of tonight's game against the Timberwolves. But we don't know how long he's going to be out. The good news is, like I said, it's precautionary. So no MRIs came back negative or anything like that. But when you're dealing with the hamstring of a 32, 33, 34-year-old player, that's a big issue. Because the hamstring is either it's going to take 6 to 8 months to fully heal, or you're going to come back early and it's going to linger. And one small step, one wrong pull of that muscle, and it might all tear. So we'll take that for what it is and keep our ears posted. But I really think that affects the Lakers.
If he's out long term?
Yeah.
Well, if he's out long term, then we can sign your boy.
Which one? Crawford?
Yep.
Hey! No, we still need a floor general. Crawford ain't running offense. I love the scoring, but Crawford ain't running offense. Who's running our bench offense? Unless you're giving that task to Caruso, but that's a big task, and I don't know if Caruso's ready for
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it was his left hamstring.
I don't know which one it is, but thank you for breaking that to me.
Yeah. But, we'll see what happens. I think he'll be fine. I think
he'll be fine, too. But I think he might need maybe 2 weeks.
We'll see.
So I don't think it's going to be something that hampers us into All-Star break or May, June. He's going to probably sit, if you ask me right now, and I obviously don't know anything, but if you ask me right now, my feel is that he's going to miss a week to 2 weeks, somewhere in that range. He's going to come back, but it might be an issue that we hear about later in the season as well, where he re-aggravates it or something to that nature.
That's when it will become a problem, because we need him to run that second unit.
Well, wasn't the calf issue that he had at the beginning of the season his left leg as well?
Yeah.
So that's why it's scary to me. Because now you're not only 2 injuries, but both of them are in your left leg. So I hope that they're not related by any means or anything like that, but that's what I honestly think. He'll be gone for a week or two. And we very well may hear about it later in the season coming towards the playoffs. I don't hope for that, but I just think that's the way it may be. Or he sits for 3 months and lets it fully recover and then comes back for the playoffs, But I don't know which situation would be better in that issue, because if he sits, then that why are you even coming back for the playoffs? Like, you just ruin our chemistry. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that definitely is something to look out for. Do you have anything to say about it? Any thoughts? Anything you want to say about it?
I don't want to put any bad juju out there, so I'm just going to keep my mouth shut.
For sure. So we'll move on to our next week's predictions. Are we doing ATL or not?
Yeah, let's do the ATL.
Okay. Speaking of ATL, I just watched that movie the other day. Can y'all believe it's already 13 years old?
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I was watching that. I saw it on TV. I had to stop and watch it. Still love that movie to this day. All right.
ATL?
Yeah. I'm not saying it's a classic, but for me personally, I love it. I'm a T.I. fan, so.
T.I.?
Yeah.
Who else is in that movie?
Lauren London.
Oh, I mean.
Nipsey Hussle's wife. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Well, not her, but he's rest in peace.
Yeah. Someone I went to high school with was in that movie.
Really?
Yeah. I think it was. I forgot who it was. But I went to high school with someone who was in that movie. He had a significant role. Jackie Long.
I think that was his. I think he played Esquire.
Yes.
I love that dude. I didn't know he was from Dina.
Yeah,
I like him a lot more now. But
yeah, he was a mirror.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know.
He played on the baseball team, which is funny because I think when he was playing on the baseball team, he said, "Hey, Severs, I'm gonna be an actor," and he was always like a class clown. So I just looked at him like, "Man, shut up." And a few years later, I saw him in a commercial, and I was like, "What?"
This dude.
But wow. He was one of the funniest baseball players I think I'd ever seen.
I mean, for his role in that movie, he killed it.
Yeah,
I really liked him in that role, like the uppity black guy who was trying to go Ivy League and everything like that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not to say it's a bad thing or anything, because that's always a great goal. I don't care what race you are, but to come from a minority family like that and the background that he portrayed in the movie, coming from South Side, which is the ghetto in the hood, and it was a very touching movie. But I couldn't believe when I saw it on TV. I actually was like, "Damn, how old is this movie?" So I had to press the info button to see what year it came out.
Yeah,
because I knew it was from when I was in high school, so I'm like, how old? I saw it said 2006. I'm like, damn. That's like it hit me like this was a movie I grew up on, and I was like, oh my god. But we digress. So next week we got Orlando, Miami, and Atlanta. Orlando is on Wednesday. The Lakers start. That's the first game of a 5-game road trip where they play every other day essentially. It's a 5-game, 10-day road trip. So they play Orlando on Wednesday, Miami on Friday, and Atlanta on Sunday, Indiana on Tuesday, and then Milwaukee Bucks on Thursday, which I believe is December 20th. We're not going to talk about the Indiana and Milwaukee part of that. We'll get to that next week. But we'll go over Orlando and Miami. I'm going to go with 3-0.
I'm going with 3-0.
I'm going with 3-0. I think the only hard game to pick in that stance is Miami.
Yeah,
I think Miami will give them a scare and very easily could win that game. But based off what I've seen, the Lakers have just been – they've been winning everything. So, I mean, like I said, after this most recent 3-game road trip to Denver, Utah, and Portland, I'm a believer. And Miami's a good team, like Dallas is a good team.
Orlando's actually the 8th place East team.
Under 500. I get it. They're 8th in the East.
They're 11
I get
and
it.
11.
Yeah, they're surprising you and everything like that. They must have won tonight, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I looked, they were 10 and 11. But
they got some good players.
They better walk over them.
Look, they better
walk over them.
They should murder Orlando, but they have some good players.
All right.
I mean, they got DJ Augustine, they got Alfred Aminu, they got Mo Bamba.
The only player I'm worried about over the next 3 games is Jimmy Butler.
True.
Now, I'm keeping an eye out for Tyler Hero and Kendrick Nunn, who are 2 rookie guards from Miami. Because if they go off, then that's going to be a very hard game. But I fully expect them to go 3-0. I expect them to go undefeated until they play Milwaukee, and I'll let y'all know how I feel about that next week.
You know what I'm looking forward to watching?
Who?
Markelle Fultz.
That's interesting.
Yes.
Even if he sucks.
Yes.
Even if he bombs, I still want to. Just the intrigue. Like, everything is so mysterious. Like, even if he's bad, I still want to see it. Like,
yeah.
I'm not hoping for the
I think the other night he had like a 20-point game.
Yeah, I've heard he's been playing fairly well this year.
Yeah. I think the 76ers, they messed him up. They messed him up bad because when I watched him at UW, at the University of Washington, he was a baller.
I've heard his jump shot changed a whole lot, too, between Washington and Philly.
Yes, because Lonzo Ball at UCLA was probably the best, if not second best player in the nation.
Right.
But at the time, Markelle Fultz was clearly the best player in the nation. It was clear as day. Mm-hmm. And to watch him go through that whole saga with the 76ers, I couldn't believe it.
Right.
I was like, wow, you really messed him up.
I mean, I'm not going to put all the blame on the Sixers because I think as a man and as a person, Markelle Fultz has to accept some of it. But I'm not just going to completely discount what Philly did as well either. Yeah. I recognize both sides have fault, basically.
Sure.
So,
but yeah, they should go 3-0.
Yeah, 3-0. I think Miami is the only game that kind of makes you actually wonder. Miami and Atlanta should be walkovers, especially Atlanta because I have family in Georgia. I've been to Georgia. I've been to Atlanta many times in my life. I love the city. I love everything about it. There's a lot of Laker fans in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. And we see that every time the Lakers go play Atlanta, and the crowd is almost split.
Like, there are a lot of Laker fans everywhere.
Yeah. It's like Atlanta is the East Coast version of L.A. as far as Laker fans go. I'm not saying the city or the weather, but you see almost as many Laker fans in Atlanta as you will see in L.A.
Well, I look forward to it. I also look forward to that W.
Me too. You and me both. And my Atlanta people there going to listen to this are going to be upset because I'm not talking too good about their Hawks again. I'm sorry. But I speak the truth here. So we both got them going 3-0.
Yeah.
Kevin was more right than I was last week. As far as predictions, Kevin's been right a lot this year. So if you guys are betting people, listen to his word and go to Vegas. But you got anything else to say? Because I'm about all talked out.
Oh, you know what? The Lakers have been playing phenomenal. AD has been playing phenomenal. LeBron James. I mean, everyone. I think people need to start giving a lot of credit to Frank Vogel and the Lakers coaching staff. I think recently, what Rondo said, this is the best coaching staff I've ever been around.
I've never been as prepared going into any game as I am with this coaching staff. And for those that don't know, Rondo played in Boston under Doc Rivers.
Yeah, I thought, I was like, was that a shot?
Thibodeau, yeah.
I was like, was that a shot?
I kind of wondered the same thing too, but if it wasn't a shot, it's high praise.
Yeah.
It is very high praise, and I know that was an issue that I had a little bit earlier in the season. It was about how they started games because they go into the locker room, they come out for the second half, and they turn it up, and I asked you, was it not being well prepared or not being prepared enough? And I guess Rondo just gave us the answer blatantly. Maybe you listen to us.
Well, I wouldn't mind if you hit that like and subscribe button.
Exactly. Thank you for saying it.
But I also think that people need to give a lot of credit to Rob Pelinka as well. He put together a really good roster, 9 new faces, guys who just gelled together. You can see the Clippers; they're still having trouble trying to gel together.
A lot of blue-collar players on this Lakers team, too.
Yeah, a lot of hustlers.
I mean, you got LeBron and AD, but AD is still a blue-collar player. He's a superstar, but he works his tail off. Danny Green works his tail off. Avery Bradley works his tail off. Caruso, Kuzma, Rondo, you go right on down the list. Dwight has even been doing it.
Oh, Dwight's
and I think it all started when they saw AD and LeBron, the two superstars, with the buy-in that, okay, we're just role players. If the superstars are buying in, we have to buy in. We don't have an option.
Exactly.
So there you have it. Lakers going 3-0 from Adam and Kevin for next week. That's both of our predictions. We're going to go ahead and sign off here. It's Adam.
This is Kevin.
Thank you for listening to the Purple and Gold Hoops podcast, everybody. As Kevin said, leave that like and subscribe button. If you want to leave a comment, that would be very well appreciated as well. And follow the Twitter, PGH1 Podcast, or PGH Podcast 1 on Twitter. Go ahead and check that out, and we both use it. So if you see a tweet with the A at the end of it, that's me saying it. If you see one with the K at the end of it, that's Kevin. And go ahead and feel free to interact with us as much as you would like over the course of the week. And we'll talk to you guys next week. Have a good night.
Peace.